Okay.
Go for it, Eric.
All right. So I'm Eric Anderson. I'm a senior infrastructure architect with Armstrong World Industries. We are a ceilings and wall manufacturer headquartered out of Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about our journey with automating infrastructure service delivery. So tickets that come out of our ITSM product, ServiceNow. How do we automate the fulfillment of those? So who can relate to a never-ending backlog of requests, manual fulfillment? Yeah, good. You're in the right place. So when I'm talking about the service request process, user submits a request, maybe there's an approval, IT fulfills the request, communicates with the user that submitted the request, closes it out. What I'm talking about is automating this portion right here, and not just in a way that we perhaps get a ticket to a person, they use a script or something to fulfill it and close it. I'm talking about taking the engineers and operations folks completely out of that process. So our initial approach to this was a homegrown orchestration product built in Python. What it did was just reach out to ServiceNow, look for any tasks that were assigned to a specific assignment group for automation. If it found them, it would communicate with downstream APIs, info blocks, Cisco, you name the vendor, to fulfill that request and then close out the ticket, email the user, whatever. This is kind of what it looked like. I won't go through this for brevity of time, but some challenges that we ran into. Matthew, I believe, talked from Southern California Edison yesterday about they reached a certain tipping point when it came to developing their own in-house orchestration platform or things to automate, right? And we kind of got to the point where we were at a tipping point where we were like, hey, do we spend money and hire software people to help us with this? Or is it time to spend money on a product to help us springboard our automation efforts? And we had got to this point by showing some ROI, which I'll talk about a little bit here. It's something that came up a couple times in the conference about how do we show value to the business to get more buy-in for automation. I'll kind of show how we did that. And then the dependence on key personnel. So how do we take traditional engineers, and we've talked about this too, and turn them into software developers, not turn them into, but enough to where they can help develop the product and make meaningful automation deliveries. So we had decided to transition to an orchestration platform, so one that was event-driven. With our old platform, it was go out and pull things from ServiceNow, get the results. And in order to develop that to be event-driven, we had to do things like expose it to external or do some sort of forwarding, reverse proxy. And then it becomes authentication, SSO, right? A lot of the other things around the product that are outside the actual automation platform, but the peripherals that are needed to make that a holistic platform. We wanted something that was scalable and reliable, that had pre-built integrations that we could just kind of drag and drop, grab things that was already pre-built, stitch together workflows that work for us, user-friendly interface, and something that we could reuse our existing Python, right? So we had some stuff that we still wanted to leverage and use as part of a larger workflow. So we ended up going with Itential. And so now what our process looks like now is a user submits a request into ServiceNow. When that task is, or that request is approved, it shoots an API call to Itential with the task number. Itential then queries ServiceNow, gets all the variables associated with that task in a JSON object. What's the task? You know, for example, like a DNS request. What's it for? Is it for a switch, a printer, a camera, et cetera, et cetera? And then with logic in the Itential workflows, communicates with the downstream Meraki, GitLab, Office 365 Graph API, whatever it needs to do to fulfill that request, communicates that. It also communicates with the users. It'll say, hey, here's the name you requested, here's the CNAME, and whatever the request is, whether it's a software request, we need to do some Active Directory moves, add changes, all that's communicated to the user through the Itential platform. Itential then close the request and also reach out to a Splunk automation dashboard that we developed. That has been crucial for us to display ROI for the efforts that we've completed. I'll talk about that here just in a little bit. Some things we automated. I won't go through all these individually, but the column on the right is the tools that we used to integrate and fulfill those requests. And the beauty of having a platform develop on, like Itential, is that all of that is housed within the Itential platform. Whether it's Python, native REST APIs out of the platform, PowerShell, Jinja, all housed within that one. Everybody hates pane of glass, but that's really what it is. So the key results that we saw: time savings and accelerated service delivery. I'll talk about those here a little more here. So with the metrics dashboard, two things we were capturing: productivity savings. So how much time are we saving by automating the tasks that somebody used to manually take care of, right? Pretty straightforward. The other metric that we're capturing is total time to delivery improvement. So, for example, if somebody requested a piece of software and it used to take 5 days to deliver, maybe 4 days it sat in a queue waiting for it to be picked up, and maybe 15 minutes for somebody to actually go do it and put them in the correct AD group, right? So that 5 days was a pre-automation, and now because it's automated, it happens in 10 minutes. So whatever it takes for the system to process. The total time to delivery improvement is that delta between those two, 5 days and 10 minutes. And we capture that for each request. And we aggregate that in our Splunk platform. So we have a lookup table in Splunk that says, here's the task that we automated, here's the pre-automation time it took for somebody to actually do the task, and here's how long it used to take for that service to be delivered end to end. And we have those metrics from ServiceNow because we can look at the last 12 months of pre-automated tasks and look, what's the average time it was open? So we have some actual data to back it. And then every time Itential runs and fulfills those requests, we have a job at the end. It just sends an API post into Splunk. Here's the task that just ran. Here's how long it took to run, the elapsed time of the actual job. And then we have a dashboard that munges those two, the pre-automation time, how many times it's been done through Itential, munges those into a big data graph where we can see the total productivity time that we've saved, how many days we've saved our users by automating these tasks. Management loves this stuff, right? We actually did this prior to Itential in our Homegrown orchestrator, and it's what helped us propel the conversation to get money to fund further operations, automation operations. So that's a good takeaway. Be able to show what your automation is doing to the user in real or to management in with real tangible data. Yeah, so summary takeaways, just what I talked about. Yeah, thank you for your time.